People say change is hard. I don't buy it at all. Change is not hard. Change is a natural state. I sit here in front of my phone filming this short video and I'm talking to you, I'm moving my body position. That is change. Every time I move my arm or my shoulder or my foot or tilt my head, my body is changing position. I don't have to plan it. I don't have to push myself to do it. It comes easily to me because I just naturally make these changes and adjustments as I go through my life. And that is happening on so many different levels. I breathe in, I breathe out. It's change in the body, and it's change in the air quality in the room as well. Change is happening all around. I'm sitting here talking to my phone, and out the window I can see cars going past. People are changing their position in the world at a fast rate of 20 or 30 miles an hour passing this window, and they're not struggling to do that. They're simply going somewhere because they have a reason to go, they have a reason to be somewhere else. So when we have a motivation to do it and no reason not to, change happens very naturally and very easily. And when I finish filming this, I shall get up and I shall leave the room and I'll go out and go on to do the next thing that I do, which will be leaving the building. I won't have a big think about that. I won't struggle to do it. I won't have to force myself to do it. No, I've got something else to do. I'll simply get up and go and do it. There's no reason for me not to. I won't have to fight with myself to make that change happen. And as I do that, as I leave the building, as I go out into a different temperature zone, my body will make all sorts of changes and adjustments for me to adapt and make that transition easy and fluid for me. And most of that will go on beyond my conscious awareness. I won't even think about it. And this happens all day, every day, throughout your life. Your body is changing and adapting to a number of different environments. You are changing and adapting to how you interact with the world. You're changing your mind about things, as simple as what you're going to have for dinner, or your route from home to work in the morning. If what you've got works, you keep it. And if it doesn't work, or if there's something better on offer, you change it. And you go, actually, I won't go that way today, I'll go this way because I'll probably get there quicker. You don't have a big struggle or an inner conflict to achieve those kind of changes. You just make a decision based on the information available and you implement the change very, very easily. So why do we think that change is hard? Well, we only notice changes that we struggle to make. Because the changes that are so easy and natural to us, they simply go on beyond the radar. Most of them we just generate unconsciously, and the rest of them, we make the decision, we implement the change, it's done, we're over it, we're on to the next thing. So it's only the changes that we get stuck with that we notice. They come up above the radar, they're on the radar. And they might take us some time to weigh up the information to make a decision, or maybe it's a 6 of one, half a dozen of the other kind of a situation. There's a reason for doing it and a reason for not doing it, and they're very close. There'll always be a difference, and the decision would always come down on one side or the other. But while we're in that weigh up situation of I should do it, I shouldn't do it, and there's reasons on both sides, then that can be a hard decision to make. And this is why we say that change is hard. It's when we've got a reason to do it and also a reason not to do it, or a reason to keep the status quo. And if those are fairly evenly matched, or seem to be fairly evenly matched, then we'll struggle. And we resolve that, by the way, by finding more information, getting more of the picture, and at one point or another it'll become obvious which one holds the more weight or which one is the way to go, and it's the getting the more information that will tip the scales. But while we're undecided, the balance is quite tight between the reason to do it and the reason not to do it, change it or keep it, in other words. And when this happens, it takes up a lot of our brain power, it takes up a lot of our energy, because that's an inner conflict right there. Should I do it, should I not? I want to do it, but I can't seem to do it. That's an inner conflict which will take up your time, it'll take your attention, it'll take your energy until you have resolved it. And so this is why we tend to think that change is hard, because these are the changes that we notice, they're the ones that we struggle with. But actually, 99.9% of the changes we make, we're just making them very, very easily. A huge amount of those are going on beyond our conscious awareness. We're just running those changes unconsciously. That's how easy they are to us. And even the ones we notice, because they're easy and fluid, we notice them and then they're gone, and our attention can go on to the next thing. So change is not easy. Change is absolutely natural. Your body is changing and adapting constantly to keep you alive, to maintain your life and maintain your bodily systems. And your mind is doing exactly the same. Your mind is constantly taking in loads of information and processing it. That is a state of change. You exist as a human being in a state of change. Embrace change. Be happy with change. Change is natural and it's part of being alive.